You may think your hotel is already green, but are you green enough for today's eco conscious traveler? Welcome to the Sustainable Hospitality Podcast, your destination to learn from hospitality professionals on the value and opportunities sustainability will bring to your organization. It will put more heads in beds and lower costs at the same time. We're your hosts and sustainable hospitality experts, Kathy McGuire and Amy Wald.
I'm your host, Kathy McGuire. In this episode, we talk with seasoned sales and marketing professional Lisa Pickersgill, who makes the business case for becoming a greener hotel and proving it by obtaining a certification for your achievements, which makes it easier to sell your property. Welcome, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Lisa Pickersgill. She is founder and president of Remote Hospitality Team and has over 2 decades of sales and marketing experience in the hospitality and tourism industry. Lisa, welcome.
Thank you, Kathy.
Great. Okay, let's get started. Why don't you give us some background about your career and what you're doing now?
Sure. So I'm a hospitality veteran, as you said, more than 20 years with hotels and attractions, most of that time being as a sales manager, an operations manager, or a director of sales and marketing. Majority of my time was also with Hilton or Marriott, so a lot of standards, a lot of procedures, and a big emphasis on corporate group and extended stay hotel business. From there, COVID happened. So now I started my own business here, Remote Hospitality Team. And I'm helping event venues and hotels fill their empty rooms and their event space with a lot of my experience and some really cool marketing strategies.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. That's a great segue, a pivot, after what we've been through the last year, which is something that I've been doing as well.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, as a sales professional in hospitality, do you see any significant movement towards sustainability in the industry?
Of course. I would say all of the webinars and things that I get my emails from weekly constantly are having different workshops about sustainability, how to be more sustainable. What does that mean? Greenwashing, how to do this in the event industry, what it looks like from a restaurant point of view. So it's definitely shifting. And to be honest, the movement is really inevitable, right? Our consumers are more ethical now, especially the millennials and Generation Z. The global mindset has certainly changed when it comes to our awareness of the climate crisis. I mean, all the work that Greta has done, on top of that, all of the political climate around it too. So everyone definitely knows about it and they're thinking about it. I would say even Wall Street, right? Let's look at investments. Renewable energy is taken off, it's on the rise, and it's got a killer ROI, right? But it also has a great PR side. And that's important for companies right now because they have to distinguish themselves. So that's a real big one. I would say that, let's talk about Europe. They banned single-use plastics this year. What? That's incredible, right? That's a huge move. So a lot of people will be jumping on that train. And coming from the hotel world, I can tell you that Marriott, Hilton, and Hyatt have super aggressive sustainability plans for the future. They even have a whole intranet set up within their organizations where the GMs have to go in and actually report water and sewage usage, if they're going to be buying sustainable lighting for the building, what they're doing, how they're using it. And they're actually graded on that at the end of the year by the brand. So they have to stay up to date with it. And it's a lot of this is on the maintenance side too. So you need some really great engineers and maintenance teams in the hotels that can push things forward. On top of that, our leisure travelers are super demanding now. They want a feel-good experience. They want to be immersed in culture. And for that to happen, we have to be taking care of the land around us. We have to be offering our travelers things like ecotourism, community give back, and some local sustainable food and beverage options, because that's what everybody wants. They want to feel good when they're on vacation. If you are in any, if they feel like in any way they are hurting the area that they're going to visit, they are never going to come there. So regenerative travel is the name of that now, and it has definitely taken off. And I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's going to get more and more immersed in our culture.
Oh, that sounds absolutely wonderful. We really are, picking up steam this year, I think, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So how can salespeople, general managers, and owners benefit from having a sustainably certified property? Because, there's a lot of greenwashing that can go on and that sort of thing. What are the benefits of certification?
Well, let's think about two major groups. Let's talk about the government, right? Both federal and state government here in the US, and I'm sure it's the same in other countries, as well as corporate business. If you have the same bid, right? The same kind of rate, the same kind of hotel, the same kind of offerings as another group. If you're able to separate yourself and show your initiatives in any sort of green movement, you are going to win that business. You might say, why? Because it makes the meeting planner feel good? No, because they get to go back to their investors and their owners and say, hey, that sustainability procurement initiative that we have that no one ever pays attention to, here, look, I got something for it. We can be okay this year. We're gonna pass it. And it makes everyone happy. It makes the president of the company look good. If we start taking that particular decision they made, maybe with a couple other decisions the company made, they've got a great PR story to tell everybody. So it makes sense on many levels just to go ahead and put those initiatives in the RFP and in the response for that business, because it separates you. It makes you better. It makes you cooler. And it makes the person that's the decision maker, it makes them look good, which is super important.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds wonderful. I'm just so happy to be hearing this. So what do you believe are any hesitations for properties that haven't yet embraced sustainability? And if so, what can we do to better educate them?
So the number one thing I always hear is cost. It's going to cost me as a GM or a hotel management company too much to make those changes.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cost me in the strategy to do it. It's going to cost me in the products I have to buy, right? Because they're more expensive, of course. And it's going to cost me time and labor to teach everybody how to use it. And here's what I'm going to say to them. In some cases, that's true, right? But it's going to cost you everything not to do it.
Exactly.
Because of a couple of different reasons. One, a lot of the strategies we're talking about, once you put that initial investment in and buy all those linen-less tables, right? Well, two years go by, now you're making money on it, because what are we not doing? We are not paying to wash the linen. We're not paying to replace the linen. We're not paying for the laundry attendant to be there. We're not paying for the electricity to run the dryer. So it is a win-win. You just maybe see it 3 years down the road in a lot of these instances. On top of that, I would say that there is a transparency now in all of the data that we have from companies, from their carbon footprint, from what they're investing in, from their environmental impact. All of that data is online now. So if someone wants to figure out who they're going to do business with, they're going to do business with the company that's going to make them look good. Again, just like that meeting planner, it's going to make them look good. Right. So it's super important that we put emphasis on that and understand that it isn't just about the cost of money right now. It's about losing customers if we don't do the right thing, because they're not going to come. They're going to choose somewhere else to go. It's also about losing our workforce, because there is a huge change in people now, and the millennials and Gen Z want to work for a company where they value the same things. So you will lose your workforce, you will lose your customers, and where will you be? Yeah, you're not going to have a business. So you need to invest in getting certified. You need to invest in being green. You need to make sure you're doing it the right way. And you don't, as a hotel or a venue, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to be perfect.
Yes.
But you can get that one certification, that one or two things that really make you stand out and you can do it well. I mean,
That sounds
that's the world now.
absolutely terrific. Say that again.
That's the world now. We have to move forward with the green initiatives and being the first to do it in your industry and making sure you tell everybody about it. It's going to set you apart.
Yeah, it's about that law of diffusion of innovation. It's like either you're an early adopter, early majority, or late majority and a laggard. So it's too late to be an early adopter, but you can still be in that early majority, particularly here in the US. And I like what you said about, brand reputation. If you've got a business, especially a large business, they care about their reputation. Well, everybody does, but if they have sustainability agenda of their own, and then they go and have a conference at a place that's not sustainable, that's a contradiction, and that's going to come back to bite them. So brand reputation is really important.
It's definitely going to cost them. And trust me, there are watchdogs out there paying attention to all of that, and they cannot wait to write about it. And after they've written about it, guess what? Doesn't matter how many times you come back and try to prove them wrong. It's out there, it's in the company mindset, and you've lost. So
Yes.
don't lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't lose,
It's fantastic. So, so any hesitations that people have when you were talking about, yeah, it may cost a little more in the long run. It's a good ROI, down the road. But what I found is that there are many things you can do that actually save money. And if they look at their P&L differently, instead of letting that just go to the bottom line as savings, take that savings and use it for something that does cost a little bit more so that you can maybe offset those costs. But there's so much you can do that absolutely really don't cost anything, particularly getting rid of the single-use items.
Yep, you've got your conference table set. You're not paying for all of that extra bottles of water and tea and whatever else that we were putting in those. No, now we just have our cups, and they're just as sanitary. I promise you, when you're staying at a venue, they have a dishwasher. It has to be at like 200 and something crazy degrees. It's clean.
It is.
Super important that we realize that there are great ways to save money with this and put it towards something your hotel has wanted in a long way. On top of that, I think there's even some recycling programs, initiatives that bigger venues can have where they actually get paid money to do this.
Mhm.
So they just need to look into it. There are a lot of people that are very intelligent, and if you take it the right way and you put the strategy together, you can probably make more money than you're going to lose. You just need to be smart about it.
Exactly. And the overall benefit is you're going to get those eco-conscious travelers, whether they be group business, the government, or, individual leisure travelers.
They're all going to be, and truly all of the business is going to be eco-friendly business from this point forward. So don't get it twisted. It isn't you're just getting certain kinds of people, because everybody cares now. So it's just really important to get that certification.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Well, Lisa, this has been just the best information ever. I really appreciate you taking the time to share your long expertise with us, and especially so much about the sustainability movement, being in the position that you're in. What's happening out there, and I think you're one of the best voices we could have is the sales and marketing, because I know engineers, maintenance people at hotels, they've been trying to upgrade, and well, there's no money for that. The guest doesn't see it.
Right.
It's in the back of the house and things like this. So they have to be jumping up and down for joy right now as well for these changes
I'm sure
coming.
they are.
Yeah.
And the salespeople they know what sells. But you have to give them the edge. So give them the edge. Make it easy for them to sell your property. Make them easy to fill your venue.
Yeah, exactly. Lisa, I really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much, and take care, and all the best to you.
Thank you so much, Kathy. It was a pleasure.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us today on the Sustainable Hospitality Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you'd like a free consultation on becoming a much greener hotel, please visit us at sustainablehospitalitypodcast.com.